been an African booty scratcher. They said that I cannot speak on the foundational Black American movement because I'm married to a booty scratcher. Here's what I think about the FBA movement and any other movement that has to do with Young Pharaoh, Brother Polite, Dr. Umar Johnson, all of these movements that y'all look up to, all these men, okay, that I guess guide you to help elevate your consciousness. Here's what I would say about the FBA movement. It's no different than the KKK. Meant to divide, meant to separate you, to isolate you, to have you looking at other races that look like you and hating them for no reason. That is the same foundation and principles that the Ku Klux Klan build themselves on, which is protecting their whiteness, their pureness, not knowing that they are not pure. It's a lie. Just to protect what? A movement? Y'all don't put food on my plate? Y'all don't pay none of my bills? Y'all sitting in living rooms with bonnets on, causing division because you angry, trying to be accepted, no different than a gang on gang crime when you got them little boys in Chicago or any other city taking each other out over what? Just because you look different, you said something, now we got adults actually doing it.
Few moments later.
For a long time. To anybody that felt offended by me referring to FBA as the KKK, I wholeheartedly apologize. All I saw was divisiveness, and I saw a group of people attacking me, attacking my family. So I attacked back. So I'm grateful to my winos that are on the app, that are educating me, that are emailing me, that are apologizing for, I guess, the few bad actors that are out there. But when you do Google it, that's all that comes up. Divisiveness. I don't know who's representing y'all's lineage or our lineage, because, you know, I'm from America. I was born here. My mom was born here. One thing that bothers me is when I see black on black, like racism. I'm completely ignorant when it comes to this movement. I just know how I felt when I was attacked, when my family was attacked, and I decided to just, here we go. To refer to me and my platform or my husband as booty scratcher. Now, he laughed about it. It's fine. But for me, I don't know, that hit different because I got a son. And to see our own black people, like, that's cool. That's cool. So here's the thing. And everybody's...
Now, I know she's a controversial figure. She airs things out. She's got a big following and she doesn't hold back. But when it comes to this particular topic, you need to actually understand what you're talking about, because this community will hold you accountable if you get it wrong. So let's be clear about what this actually is. It's not a group, it's not a cult. There's no leader, no official spokesperson. This is simply a term describing a lineage, specifically Black Americans whose ancestors have been in this country for centuries, in some cases predating colonization itself. The term Foundational Black American, or FBA, is often credited to Dr. Claude Anderson, and it refers to people whose ancestors have been in this country for centuries, in some cases predating colonization itself. This lineage is well documented. These are people whose ancestors fought in every American war, built major industries, and shaped the country from the ground up, not just through cotton production, but through building homes, laying roads, developing water and electrical systems, working the docks, and constructing schools and entire towns. Beyond that, they led the fight for civil rights, a fight that opened doors for many other groups who came to this country afterward. Throughout history, this community has never backed away from adversity. That's the basic definition of a foundational Black American, and it's a term that's gaining more attention lately, partly because some people from other countries have moved here and pushed narratives claiming Black Americans lack culture, or leaning into old stereotypes. This isn't new. I heard versions of it growing up too. And to be clear, I'm not here to attack anyone. I grew up around people from Africa. I've got love for that community. I'm not out here trying to start beef. But if we're going to have an honest conversation, it needs to be genuinely honest. Here's what Tasha K may not fully understand. A large portion of her audience is made up of foundational Black Americans, many of whom may not even be familiar with the term itself, or with figures like Dr. Claude Anderson who helped define it. These are simply descriptive terms. Whether someone identifies as a descendant of slavery, as an American, or however else they choose to identify, the terminology exists for a reason. Now, if she's calling this racism, that's a claim I'd personally push back on. And to be fair, that's a whole conversation on its own, since what counts as racism is something people genuinely disagree about. But from where I stand, Black Americans haven't historically held the kind of institutional power needed to systemically block other groups economically. People from any background can open a business in Black neighborhoods and thrive, and for the most part, there's no resistance to that. Plenty of cultures have participated in and benefited from Black American culture. That said, are there people online who claim the FBA or Black American label and say disrespectful things? Sure, absolutely. That happens too. Now, look, every group has people like that. That's true of any community, but you can't hold an entire group responsible for the actions of a few individuals. Honestly, and I could be wrong here, but I don't believe this is genuinely the first time Tasha K has come across conversations about foundational Black Americans online. This topic has sparked debate for years now. And look, she's clearly a hard worker, a grinder, always active online with a team and an audience that's grown around her. But if she's saying this is new to her, I have to take her at her word. Now, from what I understand, she's mentioned having mixed heritage. I don't know her full family background, but she's referenced a grandparent or parent possibly being from another country, and she mentioned her husband laughed the situation off. Understandably, though, people can get offended by name-calling regardless of context. Here's the thing about Black American culture specifically. Growing up, teasing each other was just part of how kids interacted, including using derogatory terms to mock people seen as being too African or not fitting a certain identity. It wasn't coming from a place of hate. It was, unfortunately, just how some jokes went. Black people, generally speaking, tend to be harder on each other with jokes than they are on anyone else. So this isn't really about excluding anyone, it's more that certain jokes may land differently depending on who's hearing them. And to be clear, that doesn't mean the community isn't welcoming, it is, but we also can't act as if nothing happened here. At the end of the day, she got a wake-up call. Reports say she lost around 30,000 subscribers. And look, that's just what tends to happen. When you engage with the FBA conversation or anything connected to that identity without fully understanding it, people are going to hold you accountable. That's just how it plays out. Let me know what you all think about this one. Also, switching gears, I've been calling out Garfree again, specifically around gaslighting, spreading misleading information, and engagement baiting through outrage. It seems like willful ignorance when it's convenient, especially since he's acknowledged these same issues in the past. Now he's acting like he doesn't understand any of it.